Hello and welcome back to the End of the Fourth Football Show. As always, I am your host, B-Hizzy, aka Brendan Hurst, and I am joined, as always, by the one, the only, The Prez, Chris Malini. How are you doing, man?
Oh, I'm all right, mate. I'm all right.
That's it. That's it. Well, it's been a quiet week or so in the NFL. Nothing's really, no earth-shattering news. The Aaron Rodgers trade still isn't done. Lamar Jackson doesn't have a new team yet. So we're just kind of waiting and seeing.
Aaron Rodgers is going to re-sign for the Packers. I just see that.
Well, I heard that the Patriots are interested. That could be something to keep an eye on. Could you not just see the Patriots and Bill Belichick snapping Aaron Rodgers underneath the Jets' noses? I could see it happening.
I could, but then I could see Tom Brady unretiring.
I mean, I'd be amazed if he goes anywhere but the Patriots, to be quite honest.
It'll be interesting.
Joe, no, actually, just while I think on it, there actually has been some important NFL-related news. Joe Burrow has overtaken Fiona the Hippo as the most important Cincinnatian.
I saw that.
So that's another one for me.
Oh, but the hippo doesn't have a wee pal. That's not fair.
Well, yeah. That's it. We would make a merch for the show. We could put on his front, it's like Joe and his wee pal.
That's it.
I would buy that. That's good. All right. Well, we don't have any news, so I suppose you could consider this as a filler episode. But I don't think it's going to be. I think this is going to be fun. I've been really excited about doing this. We're going to do a mock draft. I'm taking the odd numbers. Chris taking even numbers. Trades are totally fine. And there's no thingy on the restrictions on the numbers. So it's like, for example, if Chris, you're controlling the Texans at number 2, just for argument's sake, and you want to trade up you want the Raiders to trade up at 7, even though that's an odd number, that would be a number I have. That's fine. I would just take the Texans at 7. It doesn't really matter.
Okay, whatever. Yeah, that's fine.
Let's do it. All right, let's see if we can figure out a screen share. Here we go. And hopefully you can still hear me, and the show can still hear us.
I can hear you fine, yep.
All right, and so you see we've got 31 picks to go. Obviously, these teams don't have a first-round pick this year. And yeah, so we're good. Let's go for it. Enter draft. Right then. It doesn't look like you can. Is there any trades? Unlock draft trades? Subscribe to PFF Plus. Okay, maybe there's no trades, so we'll just roll with what we've got.
That's fine.
All right then. Number 1. Okay, wait, oh my God. Okay, so maybe that's just during the draft. I don't know what's going on. All right, start draft. Here we go. So the Carolina Panthers, right? And we were talking about this kind of a couple weeks ago. This kind of just seems to be a two-horse race between Bryce Young and CJ Stroud. And we were both in agreement at the time that it's probably going to be Bryce Young. But I have maybe flipped my opinion on this slightly. I think that the Panthers just have led a little bit more into the media that they like CJ Stroud more. And for that reason, I'm not going to waste any time here with the number 1 pick. We've obviously spoke about CJ Stroud. I'm going to take CJ Stroud at number 1 to the Carolina Panthers. Just for all the reasons that we said, I think that I think he's the most polished quarterback in this draft, without a doubt. And I think that the Panthers need that kind of stability. But, really, I don't think you could go wrong. I really don't think you could go wrong with either. I just think that they'd love CJ Stroud a little bit more. Number 2 for you then?
Bryce Young.
Bryce Young, yep. Let's not waste any time.
Number 3, Cardinals on the clock.
All right, then this is an interesting one because I could see them trading down, and I think that they'd be okay with trading down just a little bit. They need help on offensive line, but I think this may be a little bit of a lost year for the Cardinals to begin with, because it doesn't look like they're going to get Kyler Murray back until maybe at the best late October. So I wonder if they just beef up that defense. And this is a tough one because a lot of people say that Will Anderson Jr. could go here. He'd fit the bill. I think he is maybe the best player in this draft. He's certainly up there. But even Tyree Wilson, who else have we got down here? Lucas Van Ness, they'd all, Kalijah Kancey. I think he would be a little bit of a reach at number 3, but I'm gonna just take the best player available. I'm gonna take Will Anderson here. For the
I don't agree with you there, but okay.
Who would you take at number 3?
Jalen Carter.
Yeah.
I think he's the best player in the draft.
I think that it's just a little bit of a risk with this legal issue. Like,
Okay,
like
that's not a problem. I respect your decision.
All right then. Number 4 for the Colts. Who are you going to have them take here?
I don't know, because we said about last week. This is a flip. This is literally a coin flip.
Yeah.
My man.
Will Levis. Yeah, nice one. I tend to agree with you here, and different from a lot of other kind of mock drafts. Really is I could see the quarterback that doesn't get taken at number 3 here. Number 4 could fall. So whether that's Levis or Anthony Richardson, I think he could fall quite a bit, because really there's, people say that the Raiders need a quarterback and the Falcons need a quarterback. But to be honest, I think the Raiders and the Falcons, if they want their franchise guy, they're not picking high enough at this point. They may as well wait till next year, see what they get, and maybe get a guy like Caleb Williams.
Yes.
Yeah. So hold the bus. Where am I? Yes, we're fine. It's all good. All right, number 5 here, the Seattle Seahawks. I think that they clearly need a lot of help on offensive line. And really, Osiris Torrance would be a really, really solid pick here at this point. Maybe a little bit of a reach, but you're taking the best player available at the position of need the most. But in the same breath, the defense is a big problem, and they don't want the 49ers to really be getting too far ahead of them in terms of the defensive talent. So I think that with the ability that, or what they were able to show last year, where they managed to navigate their way into the playoffs just about, I think they could potentially be able to do that again should things fall their way. And I think Gino's capable enough to deal with an offensive line in their state. So I'm gonna take Jalen Carter here for the Seahawks. I think that he immediately becomes the best player on their defense and possibly one of the top 5 defensive players in the division.
That's a very interesting potential trade that someone's just leaked.
Oh yeah?
Lamar Jackson to Baltimore and Baltimore trade to 4.
Lamar, to the Colts. Lamar Jackson to the Colts.
Sorry, yeah. Lamar to the Colts and Baltimore trade up.
I was actually just watching that Lance Zierlein's mock draft. I just saw that. I was just watching that on YouTube before we started the show, and that would be really interesting. I think there's a lot of explosiveness in that mock draft.
As I say, I've been looking at, and because of the way that it's fallen, some of the ones that I've got that I had in my top 10, I've now got to change it up a bit.
Yeah.
The Lions will go defense.
Yeah, I agree.
So it's between Devin Witherspoon or Christian Gonzalez.
Yeah.
Gonzalez.
Yeah, I agree with you there quite a bit. I think that Christian Gonzalez, he's the best corner in this draft, in my opinion. I think he's got the length and the ball skills to just kind of back that up. So, all right then, Raiders at 7, and this is a really interesting one.
Go!
This is an interesting one here. I think that Jimmy Garoppolo is. I've said before, he's better than Derek Carr if he can play a full season, which is yet to really be seen. He kind of seems to never be available. But he made it to the Super Bowl and was one throw away from winning it. I'm sorry, he is better than Derek Carr. It's just a question of whether they can keep him upright. And I think that they may just steal him from underneath the Bears' noses. I think they're going to take Peter Skoronski here at tackle, shore up that offensive line, and maybe try and keep Jimmy healthy for 17 games.
I'm going to kick the shit out of you. Because I had Peter Skoronski at 10.
Oh, yeah?
Give me, for the Falcons, they need a lot of help in the edge. Because I think his name's brilliant, Myles Murphy.
Myles Murphy. Let's see where we find him. Myles Murphy, the edge from Clemson. Yeah, that's a good pick, for sure. I think this draft is definitely loaded with a lot of really talented edge rushers. Will McDonald here at the bottom, potentially of the first round. You've got Nolan Smith up there as well, Lucas Van Ness, and Tyree Wilson for sure. I think I would have taken Tyree Wilson, but Myles Murphy probably would have been the guy I'd taken after him if he was already gone.
Okay.
All right, then. So Myles Murphy at number 8 there for the Panthers, the Falcons. All right, then. The Bears are a mess. They need a lot of help. And it's just tough to see where they might go here. I think that they might, Justin Fields is capable, scrambling, making a play, and then maybe a secondary in that system is going to help him deal with what could be a poor offensive line. So I think Devon Witherspoon here at number 9 is a good pick for them out of Illinois. He only has to drive, 15 minutes away from the facility, staying in state for his college. So
that's it.
All right, then.
Right, well, I had Peter Skoronski at 10. He's sort of disappeared.
Yeah.
So the Eagles, their only real concern for me is the offensive line, but they did lose Javon Hargrave in the offseason. Lucas Van Ness.
Lucas Van Ness. That's a nice pick. Yeah, that's a nice pick. He's actually a pretty underrated edge rusher coming out of Iowa here. I think he deserves to possibly be in the conversation up there with Will Anderson, to be quite honest. Iowa players always seem to have that physicality and the toughness about them, and I think Lucas Van Ness fits that bill and brings it there. So he's definitely a day one starter that the Eagles can fit in straight away and be just as effective on the defense right there.
Okay.
All right, then the Tennessee Titans, and I could definitely see them taking the quarterback here for sure.
Why? They've got Malik Willis.
Exactly, they've got Malik Willis. That's the problem. So the problem there last year was Ryan Tannehill had absolutely nobody to throw to, and I think that really led to them losing 7 games to finish out the season and crashing out of the playoff race, and obviously the Jags taking their spot there as the division winners. So I think that they're going to want to change that, and I think they're going to take Jackson Smith-Njigba here at number 11, wide receiver being a top need for the Titans there.
Well, then I'm going to take Jackson Smith-Njigba's pal, Paris Johnson.
Paris Johnson, where is he? Yeah, here he is. Tackle at Ohio State. Definitely the best tackle in this draft, really, for pass blocking, I think.
Yeah, because I think the Texans need to keep their quarterback upright.
Yeah, definitely. And it's only going to help Bryce Young out straight away there, keeping him upright and not allowing him to just be on his back. They had that problem with Deshaun Watson back in the day, having him, being sacked all the time, and he was able to do what he could, but it led to them going 4-12 in 2020.
Exactly.
So yeah, so Paris Johnson, they're shoring up that offensive line. All right, then. The Jets, and they might be a little bit annoyed that the top 2 tackles really have gone off the board. They're going to want to protect Aaron Rodgers when this trade finally goes down, and I'm not sure that Darnell Wright is really the guy. Anton Harrison, I'm not sure. I could maybe even see them trading out of this pick, because it doesn't look like the Packers are going to get this 13th overall pick in the trade for Aaron Rodgers. I think that Anton Harrison might be, their best player potentially available for them at position of need. Yeah, I'm going to take Anton Harrison here at Oklahoma. I think he is, maybe a top 3 or 5 tackle in this draft for pass blocking, and with Aaron Rodgers on the field, they're going to want him to do that. So,
Patriots.
Mm-hmm.
Last year we saw how good they were running the football.
Mm.
They need someone to complement Ramondre Stevenson.
Mm-hmm.
You know who I'm taking here?
Wow. Bijan Robinson?
That's the man.
Wow, what a pick there. That's awesome. That's a huge pick for the Patriots at 14. I think you're right. I could see this. I don't know if I could see this happening, but this would be incredible if it did. I really like that pick quite a lot. I think it would fit the bill if they can definitely shore up the tackle, for example, because Bijan Robinson, he's an all-purpose runner and can really make the difference when going running the ball down the field.
That was my thinking behind it.
All right, then. We have the Packers at 15, and this is where it's lined up pretty well for myself. Taking the odd numbers. It's tough. There's a lot to be done here. We say receiver. The Packers just don't take first-round receivers, so I rule out Quentin Johnson and guys like maybe Jordan Addison, or I think the tight end group, while it's talented, I think you've still got a ton of upside, kind of in the day 2 picks, for example, and they just don't take offensive skill position players that quarterbacks can throw to in the first round. So I think this pick's going to be defense, and I think the fact that he's still on the board here at 15, I think is awesome. I think Tyree Wilson heads to the Packers and shores up that edge rushing and can be a huge, huge pain in the arse for the Lions, the Vikings, and the Bears for the next 15 years. Hopefully, maybe he is the Aaron Rodgers of the defense for the Packers.
Right, we'll have to go quick offense.
Oh, quick offense, right? Okay.
Because I'm going out.
Oh, okay.
Commanders. Osiris Torrance.
Good pick there.
This is like picking horse racing. The names are brilliant.
I know, right? It's really good. I must admit, I can't wait for the guy to come out of Louisville, Kobe Buffalo Meat. I think he's a couple years away yet, but I think he's offensive line, and that's just gonna be awesome to have on the back of a jersey somewhere. All right, then. The Steelers, and again, this is another one I could see them potentially trading out of. But I think that they need the help on the defense, which is a reason why they were kind of just struggling so far. But they got hot towards the end of the season. I'm going to take Deontay Banks here. I think he shores up that secondary and is a big help for them indeed. All right, then, the Lions at 18.
The Lions at 18. Again, I see them trading out, but where do they need help? I mean, do they go quarterback?
I think at this point, if they wanted to go quarterback,
is Anthony Richardson, but they're not going to take Anthony Richardson.
No, I don't think so.
I'm just trying to see what the experts are maybe having a look at. Dalton Kincaid at tight end.
Because they did trade away TJ Hawkinson, so they do need to fill the void left there by him. You want to take Dalton Kincaid there for the Lions?
Yep.
Nice. Good pick there.
He's might have took him, but I thought the Packers were going to take Dalton Kincaid.
I think that's definitely in the conversation, but like I say, I think that they just don't have the they just don't take offensive skill position players there in the first round. All right, the Buccaneers, and they've just signed Baker Mayfield, but you could see Anthony Richardson going there and staying in state. And allowing him to learn behind Baker Mayfield, who we're not sure with at this point. Obviously, he's 14 now in the space of a year or so, and that's a eye opener for some teams. I think that they do need a lot more help, and I think that he's still on the board here. I think Kalijah Kancey is going to fall to the Buccaneers there out of Pitt.
Where he's going? answers. I've got Seattle at 20.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan Addison.
Jordan
Wide
Addison.
out.
Very nice pick. Slightly undersized, but you could definitely see him making a play in the slot there for sure. All right. Oh yeah, it's flipped over the Dolphins pick there. So the Chargers at 21. Right then. Running back, you could have seen Bijan Robinson as potentially being a landing spot for him there at 21 for the Chargers. This is where it gets tough. Is there really a lot of top quality talent here towards the end of the first round? I don't think there is at linebacker. I'm just not sure on Quentin Johnson. I still think he goes first round, but I'm not sure about this at 21. I definitely don't think he's the best receiver in this class. I think that Joey Porter Jr. could be a really nice pick for the Chargers here. He's one of those guys you can kind of slot in, and he makes the entire secondary better because everybody moves down a slot.
Arsehole. Fucking arsehole.
Oops. You don't want Emmanuel Forbes?
Number 22, Baltimore.
Nolan Smith's there. That's a nice pick.
No, I think they go receiver.
Yeah. Quentin Johnson?
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Nice weapon for whoever ends up there. In Baltimore at quarterback. Whether Lamar does patch things over, that's a nice pick. It's definitely one of those picks you could see being up there with in terms of like Jamar Chase impact for the quarterback in his first year. Because Lamar really had nobody to throw to. So whether it's Lamar or whoever ends up there at quarterback position, whether that's Tyler Huntley gets to start for a year, which I could see happening. It's interesting, it's for sure. All right then. The Minnesota Vikings at 23. And with the whispers I've heard, I think that this move becomes more and more viable by the day. It's time for him to stop falling. Anthony Richardson is headed to Minnesota to learn behind Kirk for maybe a year.
Right, I quit. Nah, to
you
be
wouldn't
fair,
like that? You wouldn't like that pick?
To be fair, I've been saying that. I think Anthony Richardson will go. I think if the Vikings were going to take a quarterback, it has to be somebody that can learn behind Kirk for a year.
Mm-hmm. It's not going to be a guy that's pushing for a day one start. And Kirk doesn't miss games. So Anthony Richardson's really going to have to, learn and up this accuracy percentage. But I think that the Vikings just fall in love with the fact that he's still here at 23 and pull the trigger.
Now, there's 3 picks I could take here. Brian Branch.
Mm-hmm.
If I really wanted to, I could go Nolan Smith.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Mayer, tight end.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to take Brian Branch. I think that last year, Travon Walker.
Uh-huh.
So you need, and obviously we've had a lot of free agency losses.
Mm-hmm.
However, that doesn't help Trevor Lawrence. But we're going to go Brian Branch.
You said it. No, this is a nice pick. I think that Brian Branch isn't really getting the kind of buzz that he should be getting. I think he's probably the best defensive back in his class. And I know obviously safeties and corners do play slightly different positions, but no, this is a really nice pick. And I think that he becomes, the leading defensive back in that division for maybe the next at least 5 years, you'd like to say.
Exactly.
All right, then. The Giants on the clock. They just signed Daniel Jones to a new long-term deal, and as a result, they're going to reward him with a new weapon, Zay Flowers out of Boston College there. Maybe a guy that only, I think he's a little bit partially undersized, and I think that they want him to just maybe make some plays in the slot for the first year, but could definitely see him, the upside for him, 5 years down the line as a big-time weapon for Daniel Jones. You must be happy with that pick. He's going to succeed.
No, definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. I am. Dallas Cowboys.
Hmm.
Nolan Smith.
Yeah.
Him, Micah Parsons. They're going to wreak havoc.
Oh yes, for sure. I could definitely see that. That makes the Cowboys defense that was already really good even better. Nolan Smith, two-time
Jerry's high-fiving on the
national
boat.
championship. Hmm?
Jerry's high-fiving on the boat.
For sure. All right, the Bills. This is a tough one because really they just need a DB to stop the leakage that Joe Burrow put on them, who was there, but the guy isn't really there that's available for them. So I could see them trading out of this. Do we want to see if we can make a trade, for example? Let's see. Well, it's locked behind a thing. So, did they just take best player available? Von Miller. Did he tear his ACL, Von Miller?
Why aren't they going for Mazzy Smith?
Mazzy Smith. I could see it. He's maybe on the board there. I just think that the fact I think they're going to take best player available here, which I think will be Brian Broussais, just to shore up the defense and maybe get to Joe Burrow and annoy him when they invariably meet again at some point in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's very possible. Right.
All right, Bengals at
Having a
28.
wee Bengals.
Don't you dare say a kicker.
No, I can just about see him on your screen there. How can Joe Burrow throw line flat on his arse? Darnell Wright.
Darnell Wright, yes. That's a nice pick. He's kind of risen up the draft boards. Not really heard much buzz from him. But yeah, I mean, they signed Orlando Brown, but the beef for the offensive line is only going to be a good thing to help Joey B, Joe Cool. All right, then. Let's see what we have here.
In fact, can I change my pick? Can I change my pick?
It's too late.
Fiona the Hippo. I want
her. All right. The Saints at 29. Again, this is kind of where it just kind of goes downhill for the talent pool at the end of the first round. I think they're going to take best player available, shore up the defense, and take Will McDonald out of Iowa State.
Right, I'm going to have a bit of a reach here.
Okay.
Because I've got the Eagles,
and
they don't really need an awful lot of help. This is very hard, because now you're really now scraping the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah.
They need a safety. But the best safety available, the experts have going number 40. I had it 2 seconds ago. 49.
Yeah.
So
Antonio Johnson.
That was who exactly I was looking at. But go for it. That's really it. I mean,
yeah.
There's nobody really else there that I could really see.
You want to take best player available? Broderick Jones?
No. Well, tackle. In fact, no. Give me the tackle.
Yep.
Do you know why I want the tackle? Because you nicked Peter Skoronski off me.
Yeah, I mean it's a nice pick. You can't go wrong with the Georgia Bulldog, I think, in this current era of college football, going into the NFL. And Broderick Jones going to shore up, keep Jalen Hurts the right way up. All right, then. Finish off this draft here. The Kansas City Chiefs, Super Bowl champions. I think they're going to take your guy, Mazzy Smith, here out of Michigan. Me, we're concerned about that. Was it the gun charge, the unlicensed gun charge? I'm not sure, but yeah, I like. I don't mind the pick there, Mazzy Smith. I think he's definitely fringe first round talent, and the upside is unlimited there. So, yeah, I like it. Let's zoom out here. I'll maybe blur some of this out if we put this picture on the social feed.
I quite like that mock.
Yeah, it's not bad there. I think we did a good job. The presenters mock draft part 1.
Yes.
All right, let's get back to it. Very nice. Well, that's it. That's going to do it. Unless you have anything else to say.
No. What you have to do though is you have to keep that mock,
and
let's see how many we get right out of 31.
I'm going to say 4.
You think 4?
Well, you know, it's still, when it comes down to it, it's still about 3 weeks away, and things could change. You know, we don't know. Look, is Will Anderson going to get arrested for possessing half an ounce of marijuana? Who knows?
Yeah, well, is Lamar Jackson going to go to Houston? It's always something mental.
You know, would it be? Would you know? We say, you know, you hear the phrase quite a lot. One normal day of Barclays. When you're talking about the English Premier League, I think one normal day of the NFL. I think that's that's more of a look there.
Only one thing about the Premier League, McTominay, goal machine.
All right then. Well, that will do it for this episode of the End of the Fourth Football Show. Thank you very much for checking in on our mock draft. Let us know down in the comments how many you think we got right. Tell us what we got wrong. And shout us for knowing absolutely nothing about the NFL. Let's be quite honest, because somebody will know better than us.
Yeah, the 31 GMs drafting.
Yeah. All right then. Well, we will catch you next week at some point. And yes, we will see you next time. Ciao for now.